We are back, Personal Healthcare Reform Talk Show on Pegasus Net Waves, taking your health to a higher level, flying really way up high today. I got an awesome guest coming in with me today, and we're going to give him tons of time because it's a huge topic. How big? It's so big it has three initials, ACA. If you don't know what those initials stand for, you have been under a rock for the past 6 years. Actually, past 8 years. Actually, no, past 10 years, technically. So, Affordable Care Act. If you have a business, you better listen to this show, okay? Just so you know what's happening for the rest of this year and going into next year, all right? Otherwise, there's these things called taxes and penalties, and they love to throw them out there. Anyway, before we get rolling here, go to ClintFuquay.com, ClintPrograms.com, PersonalHealthCareReform.com. All kinds of new stuff been popping up on there. In fact, I'll have new stuff popping up on those every month now. All kinds of new stuff going on. And, of course, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Google+, because, well, you know, Google owns it, so everybody's got to be on there. And LinkedIn. I'm doing lots more writing and stuff on LinkedIn, so I'm publishing tons of new stuff on there. And, of course, the rest of the magazines that I'm in, Offbeat Business, new stuff there, new stuff in Living the Dream magazine. That one's coming back out this fall as well. So watch for those. Watch for some other articles I'm doing and some other publications as well. And, of course, the ADA, American Diabetes Association, Step Out DFW, North Texas. That's happening November 7th. Get involved in that. Go to ClintFuquay.com, click on the Join My Team here, or join the team with Pegasus NetWaves because we're all involved. Come out, walk with us, help us stop diabetes with them, and I will have them back on the show the end of November. We're going to do a little wrap-up thing, and they've got some other stuff going on at the end of the year that you really want to know about. And MedCall Assist, which is turning into MedCall Pro, they will be on the show in a month. We're going to talk about brand new services, which you will want to know about, especially if you're a business. Yeah, I know you want to save some money, so listen to that one coming up in about 3 shows from now. And, of course, MedCall Pro, they've got an ER doctor on the phone. They've got medical kits. They take care of injury stuff at your business as well. Take care of insurance issues with that. Ulta Lab tests. If you need to get blood tests done, if you had a doctor and you didn't get to keep your doctor, like somebody promised, and you want to go get blood tests done for 20 to 80% off, click on the link, check it out. 2,500 locations around the U.S. You control every piece of that. That's right. You get to control your own health care. Helping connect humans and nutrition. For corporate clients, if you have a food program for people, or if you just want to have snack machines, stuff like that, they've got the best out there. Icon Meals, I'm telling you, awesome service. They custom prep meals for you, send it directly to your door. They're fresh for a week, and only for a week because it's fresh food. Okay, there's no preservatives. Their chef is from Naomi. It's awesome food, incredibly healthy. Kinesi athletic wear. Best clothing you're going to wear, especially for the fall, coming up with weather change. And ID Life, brand new cool stuff coming up from ID Life. Next show I'm going to detail some more stuff on that, but we got some updates to the assessment, to the website, some new products coming out, all that. But otherwise, if you've taken your assessment, go back in, change it to fall. If you haven't taken your assessment, why have you not taken that yet? I've been with them for almost 2 years now, okay? Get on it. Get on the program already. This is your health we're talking about. This is the best program you're ever going to see. If you don't believe me, do it. Print it out. Take it to your doctor. Okay? So there's that. And actually, that's about it for health in the news. So tons of stuff on there. Health rates are going up all over the place, yada, yada, yada. Eat fruits, eat vegetables. Come see me. If you want to get into the best shape ever, come see me. Go to ClintFuquay.com. Look me up for health coaching and personal training services. I've got 2 clubs here, the studio and PhysioFit, and Iron Pro Gym is coming up in October as well. So multiple locations, tons of other people out there. And so that's it for me for right now. Come back, listen to Mr. Mike Chapman. We're going to be talking about the ACA business and what that means to you financially and from a health perspective. Awesome show coming up. Listen very intensely on this one because you need it.
Hey everybody, this is Blake Miller. I own a company called Ozone Purity where we flood the body with oxygen. If anybody's are worried about just getting toxic and full of the pollution out there in the world, come see us. We specialize in something called ozone therapy, flooding the body with electrical oxygen. We have little steam saunas and we pump ozone through the system and just release all the waste. We're at Addison Beltline. Website is www.ozonepurity.com, or go to our app. You can see all of our products, all of our services on your app store under Ozone Purity.
This is Jeff Lazarus, author of Dogtology, Live, Bark, Believe. Dogtology is about man's fanatical devotion to dog, about the belief in dog, arguably one of the most popular beliefs on earth. Dogtology is available right now on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble Select Stores, and BarnesandNoble.com, Books A Million, independent bookstores, and several airports around the country.
Hi, I'm Blake Hammerton, and I am from The Sharp Gentleman. If you're in the DFW area and you could look better than you do, or your husband could look better than he does, I am here to help. With custom-tailored menswear to fit all walks of life, body shapes, and sizes, I am here to make sure you look your sharpest. You can reach me at 972-383-9607 and www.thesharpgentleman.com.
And we are back, Personal Healthcare Reform Talk Show on Pegasus NetWaves, taking your health to a higher level. And we're here with Mr. Mike Chapman is back on with us today, and we're going to be talking about, for the businesses, what you need to think about for the rest of the year as far as ACA compliance, because, enrollment's coming up for the regular people in November, but for businesses, you get enrollment pretty much whenever. So you need to know what's coming up that you need to be in compliance for the rest of this year and coming up into 2016, because if you're not, guess what? They have taxes and penalties just for you, and they love to hand them out. So I've got Mr. Mike Chapman on with me. He is phenomenal. This will be the fourth time on here. I'd like to bring him on, a few times a year just to talk about what's going on, so businesses know what they need to do to get ready for everything of businesses of different size, because there's all different stuff out there for small, medium, large size. So, Mike, what do you have for us today?
Okay, Clint, let me start from the top and then work the way to the bottom.
Okay.
Big companies, self-insured companies, those that are outside of some of the regulations, but not all of the regulations of Affordable Care Act, and not all of pay fewer taxes, but still pay some taxes. Those companies can expect continued rate increases. No surprise there, because health care continues to go up in spite of the so-called name Affordable Care Act. Predictions of about a 12% healthcare increase are what the major carriers are tracking for 2016 and for the balance of this year. Now, larger companies also have to be aware that most companies, large or small, will pay for a portion of an employee's health plan. Usually, they will not pay for part of the spouse's or the kid's health plan. Up until now, there have been options through Affordable Care Act for finding relatively less expensive than the employer's health plan coverage for a spouse and children in the open market. Open enrollment in November. Anybody, regardless of the state, regardless of their health, can get coverage. Probably if one or the other spouse, probably they're not eligible for subsidy. But up until now, anybody could get a decent health plan and cover their spouse and children for less money than putting the family on the employer's plan. And in the case of single parents, it's even more important. Now, what's happening, and this is a little bit of the canary in the coal mine, because within a couple of years, I'm predicting that this will happen in other segments, is that the broad access of plans that offer broad access to providers, meaning doctors and the hospitals, is going away. The plans that are being offered and will continue to be offered are going to have very restricted networks of doctors.
This would be the ACO model.
ACO, HMO, POS, EPO, alphabet soup. What it means is less choice. Now, for I would say half the population, or half of the employers' employees' dependents, no problem. Everybody's healthy. Don't think about it. But the other half, and those employers that get this will want to tune into this. The other half are people that have chronic health conditions or have young children that go to the doctor often, that may be older, 40 plus, that may have expensive medications or have doctor-patient relationships that they can't jeopardize. Migraines, diabetes, thyroid is an epidemic in this country. I talk to all kinds of people with, sometimes I feel like I'm a rabbi or priest just because I know of everybody's health conditions. Well, what's happening, and this you could say, what is the chicken or the egg? What's happening is that Obamacare, or the Affordable Care Act, may have been set up to help distribute or ration or restrict the limited and precious resources of providers and doctors and hospitals that exist. What do I mean by that? Baby boomers. Over 35% of doctors and a greater percentage of specialists will be retiring in the next 10 years. Here in Texas, especially North Texas, it seems like half of California is moving into the Metroplex.
And New York.
And New York. And even a few carpetbaggers like me from Ohio.
Yeah.
And from elsewhere. Why? Lots of jobs, low taxes, good cost of living compared to other places. Low taxes, did I mention that?
No taxes.
Well,
no income taxes.
No income taxes.
Yeah, no income taxes.
But overall, we've got it pretty good. So it's a mad rush. Well, what's happening, or has been happening, this is no surprise. We've known for 30 years about the baby boom retirement of doctors. We're now going to see a critical shortage, and this is escalating. It is accelerating. And what is happening in health plans is a part of that. We're going to see a rapid restriction of access to doctors and providers by health plans, whether they're self-insured, whether they're fully insured, whether big employers, whether they're small employers. The individual plans for employee dependents or for self-employed people, professionals, doctors, lawyers, accountants, even insurance agents and physical trainers, entrepreneurs and self-employed people and small businesses that often don't offer insurance to their employees. They represent over half of all businesses in this country. And what's going to happen in the next couple of years is we're all going to be paying more for less access. And here in North Texas, we're going to see that this fall during open enrollment, because the largest health insurance carrier in the state is going to be mailing and notifying about 1 million Texans that they're going to be losing their PPO plans.
Yeah,
which have
BCBS. I talked about that about a month ago. They were saying bye-bye, we're gone.
Yeah.
Same thing in New Mexico.
And also in a lot of the other BCBS states, Illinois, Oklahoma. Why? Because there aren't enough doctors, there aren't enough hospitals, there aren't enough providers to go around. Now, what does this mean, and what can you do about it? Well, we should have, 20 or 30 years ago, we should have been putting up medical colleges. We added, as a state, we added 2 medical colleges. We could use 20, and we'd still have a shortage. In the past, we've been able to import the best and brightest from third world countries to that are doctors and practitioners and health providers. Well, that's an even greater and more acute and critical shortage of providers in those countries. So it's not likely that we will be able to import our needs from other countries because they will be needed in their own countries.
Yeah. Which is why nurse practitioners are being upgraded to where they can do more within the medical suites and within the hospitals.
Exactly.
Because the need is there.
So you're going to see for the first time a real chaos, but this is just like I said, the canary in the coal mine, because if you're part of the 50% that has a chronic condition, or someone in your family has a chronic condition that is expensive or requires more than a doc in the box or a primary care physician, you sure as heck better be checking right now to see what networks and what plans that you will be able to choose, or to be willing to change providers in a rational manner. And why? Because of the million people moving in from out of state, the Buckeyes, the people from New York, the California nuts, and even some people from Colorado that are swooping into North Texas, because there is a dwindling supply of doctors, especially specialists that are in the managed care networks that are accepting new patients. Mm-hmm. And I can see a day very quickly.
And there are less and less people going into geriatrics, too.
Oh, geriatrics. There's virtually
there's
zero
there.
Geriatrics. Good point. But I can see the day real quickly when it's not going to be uncommon that you'll have to drive an hour and you'll have to make an appointment for 4 to 6 months out to see a specialist. Mm-hmm. And if you don't already have a doctor-patient relationship, it's going to be even longer. So my first recommendation is that everybody that is in that 50% or has someone in their family that's in that 50%, that they really check this out and do some advanced planning, because it's going to be a stampede here come later in the year in 2016. And this is the new status quo. Now, did Affordable Care Act cause any of this? I don't know. Did it exacerbate it? Well, adding 1 million Texans coverage through Affordable Care Act that previously didn't have coverage, that probably exacerbated what was bound to be a train wreck anyways.
And there's kind of a mass exodus of practitioners moving out of the industry too. A lot of doctors are getting out.
That's right. They're saying
more so than was anticipated.
And shove it. And you also have the new doctors coming up. That the average debt of a doctor is $250,000 just for medical school, let alone what they went into hock for undergrad. And then they've got to buy malpractice insurance. And then today's doctor's office is full of all this technology and computer stuff. Well, it costs a pretty penny to join a practice. The new model today is not the Marcus Welby, join a practice. It is be an employee of Baylor or Texas Health and work regular hours. Talking to someone in the field who said just the fact that today about a quarter of all med school graduates are female, and females like to have a life. So they have moved away from that work 80-hour male ego thing, and what's happening now is that the young guys coming up in med school say, hey, I want to have a life too. So you're seeing fewer doctors going into private practice. Fewer private practices exist because they're selling out to the major health systems. They're not working 80 hours a week. They're working 40 hours a week.
They'll be essentially extinct within the next 10 to 15 years. There'll be almost no private practices after that.
Right. So just kind of recapping, the first thing to do is make sure that you are if your employer is changing plans, or if you are contemplating plans changes as an employer, make sure that you consider the access to specialists in the network that is attached to your plan, and also that your employee dependents, because most employers have a very small percentage of dependents in their plan just because of cost.
Yeah. And if you do have BCBS, get ready, you are changing plans.
That's right. That you need to be checking that out right now. Don't wait, because the supply of providers is dwindling.
We talked about big businesses, which is define big business for me. How many employees is that?
Yeah, anywhere from 1,000 employees and above.
Okay, so medium size is going to be how much? 100 to 1,000.
100 to 1,000.
Okay, and then small businesses 99 or less.
1 to 100, 1 to 99, in that kind of range. Just rough rule of thumb.
Yep, 99 employees.
Now the ones that are under 100, that's the new sweet spot for small businesses. And it does impact job growth, because there are a lot of small businesses under 100 that are so afraid of going over 100, because that's when it is mandatory to offer health plans that have to be affordable, which means that the employer is paying 91%, minimum of 91% of the cost of the health plan for the employee only.
Yeah, which is why there's a lot of pink slips. Pink slips have been handed out and saying, hey, here's a pink slip, here's a bonus, go out, start a job, we want to hire you back in to do what you do, we're just not going to hire you on. You're an independent contractor now.
It's been a boom for staffing agencies, but staffing agencies are now required, if they have permanent staffing employees, they're required to offer health plans too. So there's no escaping that. It's just passing that cost from
one to the other.
Other than that, that's really the big changes that I see happening in 2016 and this year. And then, the most important thing, obviously, is your own personal Affordable Care Act, and that's how do you keep yourself healthy so you don't have a life full of pain or loss of mental acuity, and you have money to spend on other things.
Yeah. Or searching for a doctor and waiting for months and months and months to get anything done. Any other words of advice for especially, I guess, medium size right now? I know they're starting to get. I know most of them have to provide insurance now, but I know that the medium sized businesses, most of their stuff is started in this year and next year as far as the ACA.
There's no hiding in 2016. Everybody with 100 or more full-time equivalent employees, which is the definition, has to offer health insurance that is quote-unquote affordable. That means the employer is picking up 91% of the cost, and the employee is picking up 9% of the cost.
Okay. Let's talk about what you do right quick, just as a recap, so everybody out there knows why you're on the show and what you do and how you can help out, specifically on the medium size right now, and then the small businesses later on for what they need to know, because everything starts going in force for them in 2017, 2018, I believe, unless there's changes, because it's election year next year, people.
Yeah, there will probably be some changes. Yeah, there are some things. There's this thing called the Cadillac tax that has been ignored because of more painful stuff hitting faster, but businesses are having to consider the option and the cost of Cadillac
that one starts
taxes.
Up next year, right? 2016?
Yeah. So there are changes there. But what I do is help small to mid-sized businesses, entrepreneurs, self-employed, people that really trying to figure out how to do this. Don't want to be an expert. Don't want to put in the hours and the staying on top of this. I can help make their life simpler so they can concentrate on making more money in their business. The health side, doing my due diligence, keep track of and stay on top of things, looking out for what's happening a year, 2 years down the road, advising my clients how to get the most bang for the buck and how to continue to make a profitable business and to be offering employment and jobs to Americans, especially Texans.
I've got Donald Trump on the show, by the way, if you didn't know. So, yeah, I just wanted everybody to know that because it's been a while since you've been on. It's been actually almost a year since I've had you on here. So, yeah, I want, because there are huge changes. Once again, the Cadillac tax, if you know what that is, go look that up, because if you got a gold plan, it's going to get a lot more pricey. Might as well call it platinum. Yeah, I wanted to bring you back on and have everybody know what's going on for the rest of this year, because it's going to be a big year. It's going to be a tumultuous year. There'll be lots of changes, lots of stuff going on. Congress is back in session. They're back in there, so I'm sure there'll be all kinds of ups and downs and stuff going on with the healthcare law and trying to make some changes, and lots of people making lots of promises in the next year because, well, election year's coming up next year. That's right. If you didn't know, you have not turned on the news in the past 3 months. Election year's coming, so there'll be lots of promises made and talk about what to do and what not to do, and I guess some of the actual real numbers will start showing up about the ACA and its impacts on everything. The actual real numbers, not the ones that they keep on pumping out the past 2 or 3 years to make it look good. Anything else for the people out there as far as business advice coming into going into the end of the year?
The only thing I forgot to mention is how I can be contacted. Anybody who wants to reach out to me can contact me at 888-398-6246. Don't call me at 11 o'clock at night, please. But other than that, I'm pretty available. So.
And your website?
Website is themedicalinsuranceexchange.com. Okay.
Which is pretty easy to remember, especially since we don't have an exchange here in Texas, but we have one here on the show. Otherwise, thanks for coming on and enlightening everybody on that, because once again, it's a huge subject. It takes over 1/3 of the entire 1/3 of the economy. I mean, it is literally which 1/3 of the economy, and probably half the economy here in North Texas, because we've got a huge medical community here in North Texas, but not so big we can handle that many people coming in every day. So, tell you what, people, stay where you're at, make your place better, and make it better for all of us. Anyway, that is it for Personal Health Care Reform Talk Show today. Go to ClintFuquay.com, personalhealthcarereform.com, ClintsPrograms.com. Definitely listen to the show. Listen to it over and over again, because it's going to replay a few times. This way you know what's coming up and what you're getting into the rest of this year and next year going into 2016. Mike, thanks for coming on.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, and we'll see you. We'll have you back in here first part of next year to talk about stuff that's changing up, because I'm sure it's going to be wild next year. All right, bye.